Hello, everyone. We are to a podcast. We do a bantering session podcast, and we also do a movie review podcast. Every other Monday will be posted of movie review, so you find the right cycle. And the offsetting Monday will be the bantering session. Again, today is the bantering session with Joshua Deddy.
I'm Jared Smith.
Anthony Crouch.
Today we will be talking about anything that pops up in our mind. Really. We've been talking for quite some time prior to this.
Yep.
So we'll probably just start recording our whole session, and if it takes a dangerous turn like today did, it would probably be recommended to watch it somewhere else.
Possibly a Patreon where you could pay to hear him say really, really racist things, him to say really, really gay things, and me to make lots of jokes about celebrity deaths.
I make the gay remarks.
Sorry, gay. We can't say he makes the right remarks. He's already gender. That's another race.
It's cool. Basically we all just say what we're
already off the rails. Let's go.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like I said, we'll be talking about random stuff. We were going to originally discuss this, bringing up that Elder Scrolls brought back Oblivion for a remaster, which I know a lot of people were excited about. I have a buddy who literally refused to play it when it was at its old graphic level. He started with Elder Scrolls at Skyrim, loves Skyrim, refused to play Oblivion, and now has been enjoying Oblivion ever since it came out. I personally have not downloaded and played it yet. I did watch somebody play it before because I was too young for my mind to comprehend what was happening. My stepbrother played it a lot. I watched him play it.
I played the original Oblivion. I loved it. It's a great game, and I plan on getting the remastered. Here soon, just because it's something to do.
I've been playing it. Played all of them. Skyrim's probably my first introduction into the Elder Scrolls series. It was like the only game I owned for like 6 years, and I played the hell out of it. Played the original Oblivion a little bit. Then my copy broke, and now I downloaded it on launch day.
I know
to play the remaster.
I know Skyrim was not really my cup of tea.
I love it.
I just couldn't, man. Every time I played it, like I said, it was. I guess it was when I was into only sporting games and only shooting games when I originally played it. So I couldn't quite comprehend the idea of spending time longer than doing the normal missions. So I was doing a lot of things under-leveled, and it just was an unfun experience of just dying to giants over and over again.
Yeah.
So I did get chased for 20 minutes, actual 20 minutes, on horseback by a giant riding a mammoth.
Okay. See, that's why you play as a Khajiit and build up your stealth stuff and just hide a really long, long way and just shoot the giants to death with your arrows.
Regardless of how you start playing Skyrim, it turns into a stealth archer build.
Yeah.
Until you get like enough levels and skill points
So
to
you
make
just
whatever build you want to do.
So
I can see that. I will say that I did play Elder Scrolls Online.
I've heard that's terrible.
But I will tell you
I
that
played it at launch.
if you want to
apparently got a lot better.
if you want to play Elder Scrolls
I
Online,
like No Man's Sky.
you might as well download and play Neverwinter. It's free.
Yeah.
And literally the same concept, but a little bit more D&D.
Oh, a lot more D&D.
But that feels better. Every time I've ever wanted to play Elder Scrolls Online, it's always made me re-download Neverwinter and play it for 6 months before I stop playing it again.
We played Neverwinter for a little bit together.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Normally, I don't play Neverwinter long. I play it to get to like a level 30, and then we decided we weren't to play it and make new characters.
Yeah.
I know we do, and then find that cycle.
That's kind of the issue with a lot of RPGs that I find is I get bored with my current character, and I'm like, I can do this other one. That's why I have yet to beat Baldur's Gate 3, even though I've made it to Act 3 like 4 times.
I think I'm midway through Act 2. And I was playing with my buddy.
Yeah. Well, I have no one keeping me in line. I just do wild shit.
I get that. Do you guys feel like we should have named this podcast Off the Rails? And then we would have like a seriously good, autistic following because of the about trains.
Off the Rails.
Well, yeah, but,
we can just call this section 2 Up Off the Rails.
Yeah. Think of the autistic.
I like this 2 Up because it said the 2 Up or basically the 2-up was originally started just going to be me and Andy, and then we added Jared, and then we all meshed well. So 2-up, I like to look at now as like two up and coming podcasts. We're hoping both podcasts will pick up. So 2 up and coming, which would have been originally like 2 up and coming podcasters. Yeah, the third person. We don't do a 3 up because it's 2 ups.
Yeah, no.
Most cheat codes only do 2 ups and
Go up, down, left, right.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Which is,
Konami code.
do you know what it's a cheat code for?
It's an infinite life.
It's not infinite. It's Contra for 30 extra.
Oh. Might as well be
The only other cheat code for Contra was VA start. That was to let you know you fucked up the first game.
Yeah.
Like the first steps, because all of it ends with VA start. VA start just changes the colors of the game.
Oh.
But it lets you know you messed up. So you get punished for trying. So either you're cheating or you're caught cheating.
I just remember the infinite ammo for Grand Theft Auto San Andreas.
R1, R2, L1, R2, left, right, X.
I know different.
It's left, down, right, up, R1, L2, L1, L2, select. I think is what it was.
I'm fairly
I
sure.
said I used to know.
I'm thinking I said the one for Vice City because
I
I'm
know
old.
the one for was it Grand Theft Auto 3? There was multiple different ones. You guys are talking about infinite ammo. There was one that was that gave you. There was one of them that gave you guns. Different.
Yeah.
I think it was GTA 3. And different cheat codes would give you different sets of guns. If someone give you a baseball bat, Roscoe was.
Yeah.
And one was up, left, down, right, up, down, left, right. But it was L1, L2, R1, R2, and then up, left, down, right.
Yeah.
Left, right, start.
And that gives you the
And that would give you a certain guns. Whether or not, I don't know.
And if you did that,
you didn't have to do that. I would just keep doing that over and over again.
And if you did it,
And we're back.
so I think the one I said where you hit X is the armor cheat.
I
Actually,
do, yeah.
Maybe.
yeah, I think so. I think
Because
that's
they
the
did a
armor
lot
cheat.
of spinnings and a lot of.
Yeah.
I just know the one
I was never allowed
just,
to own the games. It was my cousin that always gave me the controller and was like, "Here, play," and
Yeah.
like handed me a cheat sheet.
Weirdly enough, Anthony is most tattooed out of all of us, but did grow up in the more strict house.
Yeah.
That's why I'm more tattooed.
I in high school downloaded Anthony a Slipknot album and titled it Country Music Mix, so he was allowed to have it
Then my
That's
mom
sad.
listened to it.
until Anthony
Oh.
failed on that one, and his mom listened to it and then found out it was Slipknot. And
If it makes you feel better, my mom burned my Metallica CDs because she said that he sounded like the devil. And then I got smacked because I asked her, "How do you know what the devil sounds like?" That is not the thing you ask a very Christian woman.
He speaks to me in my dreams.
Which is funny because it only went downhill from there with me because now it's just guttural sounds.
And now you
and-
listen to
Gary
way
Chance.
darker music than Slipknot.
Yeah.
Deeper, I guess.
War? Because I've seen a War concert. That's the most disturbing thing I've ever seen in my life.
War concerts are fun, man.
Anthony's got some. He's got some heavy metal stuff.
Right.
My cousin was in a very heavy metal band.
Yeah.
In Shelby the Conqueror. He was
Yeah.
fucking-
And
Very
Bather.
cool.
And what's the other one?
He was in Despise.
In Despise was the first one. Then it was Shabby the Conqueror.
Which I guess I say my cousin was.
Forest War.
I say my cousin was in a band, but his brother was also in that band.
Yeah.
So,
Forest War, Bather. Shout out Josh and Nikki Richter.
Yeah,
Like,
I was briefly in a ska band, but I also really love ska music.
that makes sense.
I just want to learn how to play the banjo.
I get that.
Not like strum and pick. I like banjo.
You just want to sit on your front porch picking a banjo.
No, I just want to pick a banjo and then have you like fucking death metal scream to it.
I can do that.
Yeah.
Ask Nikki. Like,
Well,
he is
I don't.
great at almost every instrument.
Maybe I don't. I've never talked to the guy actually personally. I think I spoke to Josh Ritter.
I mean, I
But he's
think
my cousin. I know that for sure.
I've been over to their house, and they're your cousins.
Yeah. My cousins. I do know they're my cousins.
I was almost Josh's roommate at one point. That was forever ago. I think actually it was before he moved into the house.
I do know.
I mean,
I do know they're
I pick on my guitar from time to time. I don't know any notes on it. I can just play.
I just need to buy it. I just really need to buy it.
I just
Yeah.
Yes.
Um,
All right.
Yep.
He's better at this.
What's finger skateboarding?
Dude, did you ever watch Jacob Randall figure skateboard?
He was insane.
He was really good, dude.
Couldn't skateboard for shit.
No, he could figure skateboard like a motherfucker.
I have a friend that makes like custom figure skateboards now. Weirdly,
I guess
she's also a lesbian, so that just seems like she'd be good with it. I'm not even joking. She's a lesbian who makes custom finger skateboards. One of them that she posted on her Facebook said, "I love Beaver," and I'm like, that is the most niche fucking thing.
I went to Beaver once.
Yeah, I went to their what do you call it? Their festival thingy they have.
Oktoberfest?
Yeah.
I used to run an illegal, or help run an illegal concert venue out of the old high school venue.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, he admitted to a crime on the internet.
This holds no weight.
Yeah, the school's not even there anymore.
What's with Anthony's admitting crimes on the internet? You, Casey Anthony,
Andrew Tate.
I mean, they look
Wait,
similar.
Anthony.
I mean, they look similar. Bald guys. You, Joe Rogan, Andrew Tate.
Both of those two could kick my ass.
I think I could take Joe Rogan.
I don't know. Joe Rogan is black.
I'd say I'd shoot him, but I'm pretty sure Joe Rogan owns guns too,
Yeah.
and he'd shoot me first. I'm pretty sure he's better at it than me.
And Andrew Tate, I think I would get like a medal. Like, not from our president, but
Yeah.
from like another president. I'd
Yeah,
get a medal.
fuck Andrew Tate. Joe Rogan's cool. He's pretty legit about what
Yeah.
he says.
Yeah.
Like, don't listen to the dude who made people eat weird shit on the internet.
True.
Like,
And I guess fuck V-Shred too. Since
Yeah,
we're
fuck
here.
V-Shred.
Fuck V-Shred. He's a fitness influencer that, lies to people.
V-Shred is.
Yeah, V-Shred is. Yeah. Andrew Tate is a fitness influencer that lies to kids.
Just
Just leave
also a
it at
fighter, though.
that. Yeah. But I think you have to fight when you have more hair on your face than you do in your head. No, you're a wrestler.
That's fair, too.
That's coming up soon, really.
Yeah.
June 28th, Hawking College.
Be there. Be
You get
there.
You get to see him dress. I was going to say spandex, but you're not dressed in spandex. Dress like a banker.
Yeah, pretty much.
Is it makeup?
Yeah, I'm wearing,
Is it a way different gimmick than what you were doing with?
I'm wearing dress pants,
Okay.
suspenders, and just like a undershirt.
You have stretchy dress pants and stuff.
I'm buying them.
So it's like, don't do.
Are you going to call yourself the patriarchy?
No,
Are you still
I
going by the Destroyer or just
Nope.
James Race?
I'm James Race. Now,
Attorney
since
at law.
Late stage
since it's
communism.
a all ages show, I can't go with my gentleman bastard gimmick that I'd like to. Is what it is.
So what? Like, I get it that you guys you're with Chris and you guys are a faction.
Yes.
Do you guys have a faction name or is it just?
I don't know. I haven't really gotten that far in it.
Because I know you've done. You've been a special guest referee. I think that's the last thing you've done.
Yeah. Last thing I did there was
It was the special guest referee.
Yeah.
When you turned on. Well, you didn't really turn against it. You're just.
I was never on his side.
But you did
but
join his side.
yeah, I was a crooked ref.
You were influenced. You
My,
were influenced into joining Chris.
My other trainee, Andrew, the Cobra Helton.
Dude, I'm not going to lie. I was talking to somebody. I was telling them that you have a fight coming up. And he's like, did you wrestle with Andy Helton? I said, dude, I swear to God he does. I said, it's absolutely live. He really does.
Yeah.
He's like, does he really? And I said, yeah. I said, I'm not technically trained with Andy. I said, but I've been there and been active with him and just talking to him in the ring and shit. And they're like, dude, that's actually kind of crazy. And I was like, yeah. I said, Anthony has been there and he actually has trained with him. So he has been there and actually trained with him. And I said, and much like Andy, the people that was training Anthony believed he was much better than the small promotion he's part of. Now brought him into still small, but larger, much larger corporation.
It's more known.
Yeah. There you go. So I
We
said,
actually have a match against each other. Ladders match.
we can post that page, dude.
We actually could. I've got it. I don't think it follows any copyright laws because I don't think anyone ever copyrighted anything. So,
Yeah.
hey, who knows? Patreon exclusive.
I was
$10 tier.
Yeah, I was a wrestler once. Then Anthony left the small promotion, the only promotion I was part of, so I left it as well. Now we're doing a podcast.
Yeah. Anthony tried to teach me to wrestle, and I don't like to fall down.
Dude, let me tell you, me either.
Yeah, no, he couldn't either.
Okay.
I couldn't, dude.
We did a full match where he could not bump.
Well,
Well,
unfortunately,
I did bump, but actually, I
I
bumped.
had to force you, man.
Weirdly enough, when we were training for our second match, when we were preparing our second match,
Yeah.
and we were going through the spots and shit, I did take bump falling out of the ring.
Yeah.
But by golly, if I didn't do it gracefully, I
Yeah.
fucking slammed hard every fucking time. But I could not talk myself into bumping. Anthony had to act like he was kicking me, and I had to just let go and roll off the fucking apron and slam hard into the mat on the ground every time.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this giant thing I call a head would not slow itself down. So every time I went into the mat, I was like concussing myself. So I'm fairly certain I forgot how to do algebra trying to learn how to wrestle.
It's
So
funny that I wouldn't go down the mat. I literally could not convince myself to fall.
Yeah, because he would just sit, basically.
I literally would just fall straight to my ass and be sitting up. I could not convince myself to fall. I could roll.
Because,
Pretty well, but I could not.
spoiler for the next, I don't know, 20 seconds. The match that we did, the finish was he gets hit by a variation of my finisher, which is like a forearm strike. And the only way we could do it is he went down to one knee, and then I just clubbed him from behind and basically forced his ass
I
to
could
the
I could
ground.
fall. I could fall with the best of them from one knee.
Yeah.
I could look like I died from one knee. By golly, he get me standing. I'm fucked. Get me
It's a great
standing.
heights.
You get me standing and say, fall on your back. Nah.
Spoiler
Mine's
done, I guess.
My whole life, I've been taught to try not to. We ain't doing. We ain't changing shit up now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this, if you fall
Then
in
you see
an
Anthony
actual
do it,
fight,
and you're like,
you're
man, can
screwed.
do it? He's stupid. I can do it.
Yeah.
And then you're like, damn, dude. And you
Asshole.
see Anthony do it, you're like, and then you go to do it, and you're like, damn, he's good at it, dude. I can't do that.
Although, legitimately, I miss being in the ring and bouncing off the ropes. Because that is like the most graceful I've ever felt.
It's fun.
Also, it made me think that professional wrestling might be the most gayest sport in the positive way. You're wearing tight spandex with other men. You're bouncing from ring to ring, fantastically leaping as you go across in the springy thing. It's like gymnastics where you hit each other.
Yeah, kind of, I guess.
It's got acting. It's got
It's a choreographed fight.
you got acting. You got gymnastics.
Except for when
you
I'm
got
involved, I
colorful
actually hit
outfits.
people.
It's not even really choreographed, really, because even in our match, we even shit kind of shit on the fly still.
Yeah.
It's basically when you learn how to write like English class, they tell you got an outlining. That's essentially what it is. It's a predetermined outlining, and then you just kind of when you get into try to go through the
Improv.
motions, and then find yourself in a situation where fuck, we already put ourselves in the wrong spot. Just run.
Yeah. It's an improv fight where you try not to actually kill each other.
Yeah. And I meant gay in a positive way, but I just am from the 90s and don't know how to say that in a correct manner.
He doesn't mean flamboyantly gay.
No. Yeah.
You can be
Gleefully,
Yeah.
gleefully gay.
Speaking of, I got hit on at the gym by a gay man.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That makes you feel.
Honestly, good. I
got
like it.
hit on the gay man by a gym.
With the gay man named Jim.
None of this is true.
No. That's like the. That's like
Yeah,
the,
we know. You've never
Honestly,
seen the
that's
inside of
the-
a gym.
I've seen the inside of a gym and passing by. There's one right next to Taco Bell.
it is.
Planet Fitness is right there.
And legitimately, it is really hard for me not to get Taco Bell breakfast leaving Planet Fitness. Like, that is cruel.
I will say that whenever I did go to the gym, because I did go to the gym for a short period of time, I have buddies in Chillicothe that go to the gym actively. I can go to the gym. But when I did go to the gym, I would fall asleep waiting for my turn because it'd be like 3 people.
Yeah.
Rest of the rotation. I'd fall asleep. Dude.
Oh,
I
yeah.
just couldn't. So I ended up having to start taking the pre-workout powder first.
Oh,
And then
gosh.
just chugging. We would take what you're supposed to take for the pre-workout that you're supposed to put in the water and drink. We would just take it as the dry supplement and then drink behind it.
Yikes.
It was like fucking shooting cocaine. you were,
That's the problem.
that was the only way I'd stay awake. It'd keep me awake. But,
Pretty soon you're just going to be lining it up.
yeah, but it
Got
wasn't
this.
helpful.
See,
Because after you're done and you find yourself still shaking from it, probably should.
I don't-
Probably not good for the old kicker, huh?
I don't feel energized when I take pre-workout. I just feel really focused. So I think I might have ADHD that has been gone undiagnosed for a number of years because Like an energy drink, I'm not like, whoa! I'm like, oh man, I'm ready to get stuff done. Let's do this. I feel great. It's
I
just,
drink 2 energy drinks today and I can fall asleep right now.
yeah, no,
Big time disclaimer: none of us are really gym rats. We're not super fitness gurus.
To the guns, Bob.
Well, I'm saying you go to the gym, but your guys aren't like on a fucking strict. You guys don't have personal trainers that are
Well,
fucking.
I had a personal trainer once.
What was their name?
It was Ethan. From Iron Will Fitness. Shout out Iron Will Fitness.
No free shout outs. Hey, for that shout out.
Well, it was free. I won a contest, so I got a free 90-day personal trainer.
How many times did you use them?
For a full 90 days.
Did you eat a good gym 90 days?
No, he worked out an at-home program for me because I wasn't in school yet, so I was able to.
Doesn't sound. You sound like you had a personal trainer give you a regimen, not an actual personal trainer.
Yeah,
I
he
could
gave me a
also.
regimen.
I could also give you a schedule that you could stick to. I'm not a personal trainer.
He kept track of it.
It's
That guy just wanted to watch you record yourself at home working out.
did he even
Just
work
kidding.
there?
Just kidding.
Did he even work
Did he even
there?
have a
Did
job?
you get his credentials beforehand, or is there like a
Did
whole?
he send you mugshots or a picture of himself? What happened?
I know what they look like.
There's a whole OnlyFans page with him just
Just
exercising.
the exercise and
Bald
just-
Man Olympics.
and only his fucking judo shorts.
Iron Will Fitness. So I found out this is actually the case. Me and you're gonna have a word.
Just kidding. No shots. Just kidding.
And weirdly, I am kind of a gym rat. I went through a really bad relationship for a number of years, and I got chubby and fat. But before that, I was a gym rat. Like, I went to the gym 6 days a week in college.
Gross.
Yeah. And, like, now I'm going 3, and I'm going to try to get up to 4 or 5.
I think I get
because,
Taco Bell 2 or 3 times.
and it's not because I
I'm gonna start
want
telling people I'm going to the gym and just drive Taco Bell.
Well, legitimately, it's just because I like to be stronger than everybody else. Like, it's just kind of fun to be like, oh, Jared, what are you doing? I'm lifting 300 pounds today. What are you doing? It's just, it's a
Yeah.
comforting thing.
It's solid. Not really.
I can throw a 400-pound man.
Yeah, I mean, the thing
No, I was annoyed. Man, I'm not 400 pounds, bitch.
like right now, like I know my back bend thing is like 220 pounds, and my bench press is almost 300. So
What,
like,
good mornings?
huh?
What, good mornings? Back then.
Like, you sit in the machine and you do like the back thing.
Oh.
Yeah. And I know I do that. I've maxed out that machine at the gym.
I
So,
will
like-
say that I could right now. I've not been to the gym in about 3 years. I guarantee if we went in there, I could max out
Well, probably, yeah.
every single time. And that'd be issues.
Like my whole thing is like if I got trapped into some rubble right now, I could lift the rubble off of myself. Like I feel that's useful.
Mainly what I was getting at is a lot of us talking. We're going to be talking. Probably a lot of this is going to be nerdy shit. We're going to talk
Yeah.
about probably life experiences of random shenanigans.
Yep.
We're going to probably talk about anime, video games.
Yes.
I mean,
Wrestling.
wrestling.
Yeah.
I might throw in the occasional football thing that these two, Anthony might insult, and then we'll travel on past our adventures.
Wait, are we talking about football or football?
We're not
Shut
talking.
up.
We're not.
You nerd.
But I'm a nerd that can lift 400 pounds, so fuck you!
I'm not talking about soccer. But I mean, so that's pretty much a lot of the banter
Yeah.
we'll be doing is I mean music taste, movie taste. We'll probably talk about movies in here too as well.
Oh, definitely.
TV shows is probably where we talk about. We might do TV shows on the movie one as well.
Oh, yeah.
There's also on the bantering will be probably where we give you more updates on what we'll be planning to do future. We eventually will have a Discord that we'll be able to converse that information and give you guys that information. We also, if there's anything like if there's any like information, like if there's anything that anybody really wants us to talk about or look into, we have a email that you can send to. All of us have access to.
Yeah, send us ideas of what you want us to talk about.
So it's TWO UP.podcast@gmail.com.
Link in the show notes.
Yeah, we'll have a link down there. So if there's anything anybody wants to talk about or look at, we'll have no problem. You just got to give us a second because we might start it at the beginning and talk about it at the end.
Yeah.
We might also talk about it only in the middle. It'll be in there.
Yeah,
Whether or not it'll be consistently in there is a debate.
We're probably not going to have the skip ahead thing, just because we're going to circle back eventually.
It'll be tough for us to circle back, or it'll be tough for us to put that we're talking about Dragon Ball Z at 2-minute mark, and also for some reason talking about Dragon Ball Z at a 34-minute mark, and then we found ourselves talking about Dragon Ball Z again in the 43rd mark. It's weird because we'll talk about shit, and then it'll bring up something about some shit, and then that shit will be other shit.
Oh yeah,
and then we'll just find ourselves talking shit.
Well, yeah, because
That's where we're at.
Dragon Ball Z is a lot like Kevin Bacon. It's connected to everything.
Sure.
Because Dragon Ball Z, Goku is Jesus. And Vegeta is John the Baptist.
Piccolo's fucking Piccolo, dude.
He's in the Bible.
Yeah, Piccolo's.
Yeah. Piccolo's Zora.
Is Frieza the devil or something? I'm confused.
Did you hear Inan earlier when he was getting snacks? He looked at me, he kept going, he's like, "You're going to be the king of the pirates." And I said, "I don't think we're going to believe you, buddy." And he goes, "No, I was talking about One Piece." And I said, "All right. We're on the same page."
Yeah. So he's been on a big kick. That's what he's been watching for the last week.
But I was like, "How do you do a shout out?" He told me I was going to be king of the pirates, dude. So eat your fucking heart out, buddy.
Yeah.
Don't like boats. Not really ever been on a boat. Don't really like the water that I can't touch the ground on.
Okay.
So, but when I overcome those fears, Luffy, you're fucked. Yeah. Right? Whenever I can go into the ocean and believe that I can make it out of the ocean in one piece.
Yeah, there you go.
Coming for you.
Full circle, One Piece.
Coming for you, bud. And that's because Inan has inspired.
There you go.
I guess I could be the king of the wizards, but I feel like that with my haircut doesn't sound very great.
You could be definitely a grand wizard.
Yeah,
That's for sure, buddy.
Get one of those. They're the purple hooded ones, aren't they?
Why are you asking me?
I don't know.
He just didn't know if you took notes from the last meeting.
You're a bald man that grew up in Pike County, Ohio. It's a legitimate question I could ask you.
I was not bald when I grew up in Pike County, Ohio.
No, I grew up in Pickaway County, Ohio. You could ask me about corn. I know a fair bit about corn.
It has the juice.
And pumpkins. I know a lot about pumpkins because of the Pumpkin Show.
He's Pumpkin King.
Yeah, Pumpkin King. I am that ADHD most of the time, Pumpkin King-ish.
Dude, so,
really high
and also,
test.
I will say that we will also take movie requests. We are currently doing our own movie requests that we're saying. I've already done one. Anthony's chose the next one. Jared will be choosing the next one. But we do eventually, if we do get enough people watching them and liking them, and they do recommend a movie, and if none of us have seen it or all of us don't care to do it, we will do another movie review on that.
For $20, we'll do the movie. You request.
You don't have to do $20. I'll just use it as mine for a recommendation.
For $100, I'll do it.
For $100, Anthony will reenact the movie.
In a Speedo.
By himself.
Yeah.
He will be the main character, the supporting cast. If it is Castaway, since there's not really a supporting cast in Castaway, Anthony will do it for $50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All he has to do is have
It is
Wilson.
a supporting cast. Wilson carried that movie.
Wilson
I
did
did not
carry
watch it
that
for
movie,
Tom
but
Hanks.
Wilson doesn't have any talking lines. He just has to be present.
I mean,
Yes,
that's
He did
important.
give Tom Hanks the floor. Okay, great movie. Wilson deserved best supporting.
Yeah.
Did not get it,
Yeah.
and that's because Dick had threw him in the water and he couldn't swim.
For $500, I will get a ring, and I will wrestle one of these two.
For $1,000, Anthony will get your name tattooed on his body.
2,000.
Let's be honest, you do it for 500 and it twins.
Depends on if I like the name.
Let's face it. You told him you'd give him $50 and pay for the tattoo, he'd probably do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta cover the tattoo cost.
Yeah. No,
I get
really,
big
like I said,
placement.
yeah. All of them here, baby. Just gonna look like the good book. Just be a bunch of names looking like a fucking, just words.
So start marking people out. Like,
And if you don't, if you subscribe to us, you'll get it and won't cross it out until your subscription ends.
Or until your life ends, and he has to.
And then
cross
it's
it out.
unfortunate because then you have to pay for him to get laser surgery to get that part removed, so you're back on the list when you do it again.
This is how we find out that Anthony's boobs are the Death Note.
Yeah.
The only thing we tattoo on him, they die.
Yeah, it's dead people. Though,
well, I know how the Death Note works, so don't let me see your face. Full name. I just need your full name, social security number, mother's maiden name, road you grew up on,
first pet.
name of first pet. Just basic information.
What was your first pet's name?
I'm not stupid.
No. This isn't about that. I swear. I promise. I'm not going to go any deeper than first pet name. And unfortunately, the first year you go for it. But that's other than that. I don't.
Are you trying to get my stripper name or something?
It's your porn name. Your porn name is the name of your first pet, the street you grew up on, or a street you lived on.
Technically, I think the first pet I had was Sam. I don't remember Sam though.
Okay, so Sam and then Schuster. Is that the first? Is that the only road you lived on, or
No, I lived on.
you didn't live on Schuster? You live on Schuster now. No one's gonna know, dude.
There's probably a lot of Schusters, and the names.
I'm gonna get shot in my sleeve, and it's gonna be all your fault.
Yeah, well then it'll
We're
be
doxing
we'll
our
back
friends.
into a podcast.
Sam Schuster sounds like a character in The West Wing.
I'm going to
Like he
give.
would be right.
I'm going to give mine. I don't give a fuck. Regardless, okay, not Schuster. What was a road you lived on?
Happy Hollow.
That's a great porn name. Sam Happy Hollow.
Sounds
Hollow
gay.
Shoes.
No, it sounds gay though. To be fair, it's
Oh,
happy.
yeah.
Your name could be Sam Gay Hollow.
Well, that's where the money is.
Okay, crisis averted. My kid's fine.
Yep.
He fell.
Only
We're
two
no
teeth
longer going
lost.
to do the porn names. We're also probably going to dub out where Anthony said, or I said, where Anthony lives and or used to live. Yeah, I wasn't beat when we paused it. No, like I said,
I own guns. Just so we're aware.
I own guns too, baby. Turn, move, flexible.
I own a lot of bows and swords and knives.
Oh,
And a mental health disorder.
yeah. That's all good.
So you're safe for going to either of their houses.
Yeah.
Um,
No, just legitimately, I've talked about this. Somebody comes up, whether it be government or private, to my house to do anything. I'm coming out stark naked with half my face painted and a sword. Like, I'm going out berserker Irish style. Like, get
like
the kids out.
Highlander.
Yeah, get the kids out the back. I'm going out. Turn around.
Yes, like Highlander.
Just like the movie Highlander. Yeah, like I said though.
God. Fucking- Look at this. I am just fucking whited out.
So it looks like you're wearing your robe.
Go fuck yourself.
That's a dark time they do that. Yeah, and if, like I said, if there's any topics you want us to try to cover in bantering, we'll do that. And obviously, anytime that there has been money discussed, that's clearly a joke.
No, it's not.
It's
Money talks, bullshit walks.
until we get real famous and we
I
can,
got bills, damn it.
until we get real.
He's the pharmacist. He has to pay for those white coats.
I am not a pharmacist.
Basically a pharmacist.
I am not a pharmacist. I do the pharmacist grunt work. I'm a pharmacy technician.
Do you work with drugs all day and give those drugs to people legally?
Yeah, so drug.
Yeah, I'm a drug dealer.
But legal. So he's a... And hey,
It's not right now.
drug lords are pharmacists.
I did
They're
not
just illegal
go
pharmacists.
to. I did not go to school for 8 years. Period. Dot. I did not go to school for 8 years
You know who
to
did?
become a pharmacist.
Well, you did because you
You know
had
who did
all
go to
those
school
courses
for
in high
8
school.
years?
That didn't count.
You
I already asked.
know who did go to school for 8 years? Harry Potter.
Yeah?
Yeah,
He's a doctor wizard.
I thought he worked for the bureau.
Yeah, he works for the... Yeah.
He's a cop.
Yeah, he's like
He
a
was
magic
a
cop.
he
worked for
was
the same
a
place
trust fund jock who grew up to marry his best friend's little sister
Yeah.
and become a cop.
She works
Yeah.
for the Order of Magic or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
people
the
that are
magic,
chasing
mystery of magic, right?
Mystery
Yeah.
Magic. Yeah.
The
As an
people that-
horror.
The people that are chasing, the people that are chasing Newt Scamander
Yeah.
all the time because Newt Scamander's a little devil.
Yeah.
I like Newt Scamander. I like his name. I like the name.
I like him as a character. Wasn't he the guy from like the Beast one where he like has a suitcase full of animals?
Fantastic Beast.
Yeah, I love those movies.
Or it's Fantastic Beast and Where to Find Them.
Yeah,
First
that's a
one.
great movie.
They really fucking.
I haven't watched them.
It got the first and second one really good. Third one,
I didn't know they made a third.
they did make a third.
I didn't know they made it.
The second one actually kind of dissolves a little because they had to get rid of Johnny Depp because Johnny Depp was going through all this stuff. They had to cast something new.
Yeah.
And
Fuck Amber Heard.
Yeah, it's amazing what somebody pooping on your bed does to your career.
Yeah. Really just kind of putting back on the map whenever he literally just took her. Basically, she took him to court and they ran her through the mud.
I mean, yeah.
A lot
I
of
love
great.
Rightfully
Jason
so.
Momoa's little like video call in with it. That was hilarious.
Obviously, I love the TikToks song about being Amber Heard lawyer. Heard that one?
Mhm.
It's amazing.
But Johnny Depp also won't ever do another Pirates of the Caribbean.
I thought he said he was going to do it.
I thought he said they could offer him $1 million to do it. Because
Well, yeah,
he would
because
do
it's
it.
He
fucking.
makes like
He makes way
65.
more.
Well,
Yeah.
he said they could offer him, or maybe it was $1 billion. It was an absurd amount of money. He said he would not do the movie because they dropped him because of the Amber Heard shit. And he said that's not.
No, yeah,
I'll do it.
But he's got to do that mega pint of wine thing. That costs a lot of money.
That was a funny court case though.
Yeah.
It's funny just to see the highlights from it. It's my god. It's make a pipe of wine.
Thanks to YouTube, I found out you can mix red wine with blue Gatorade, and it's apparently the best drink ever. Also, apparently, red wine with Coca-Cola tastes like a cherry Coke. I kind of want to try this.
Want blue Gatorade? There's multiple.
Thanks to YouTube, I learned how to make a slam shotgun.
I think we're on different pages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also can 3D print a Glock, apparently. Didn't know that was a thing.
Oh, 3D printed guns? That's totally a thing.
Well, I knew you could do it, but like a straight up, like, Glock. Like,
Yeah.
Glock 19. I'm like, okay, I didn't realize it was that easy.
It just has different because it's the.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's just, it's a one-use gun. I made a really cool gun on my 3D printer. I made Bash Stampede's gun from Trigun.
Does
And
it fire? Then it's not as cool.
it was really cool. I gave it to somebody as a gift. I don't talk to those people anymore, and that makes me sad, because I'd like to have that gun back. But
Let's go rob them.
They're a
Consensually.
pastor. I would feel
To be
bad.
fair, we can. To be fair, we can rob them because we know that there's at least one gun in the house that doesn't fire.
Yeah.
Off to a good start.
I'm assuming
If we all
they-
charge them at once, they can't kill us all.
I've got enough back karma. I'm good. I want to attack.
Unless we do it a straight line.
Well, yeah. In which case,
And that's
biggest one leads first, I'm going to stand in the back.
how they
We need
push
you to
off
first
the
in case
range.
there's not flashlight. Don't reflect off your head. I can't see, and then the rest of us get
Yeah, you're our flashbang.
the human
We just
flash.
we just pick you up and toss you through the window, shine the lights on you. Everyone in the room's blinded, and then we go in.
Yeah, the human flashback. That's you.
Yeah, that could be your wrestling name, the Human Flashbang.
I
the
feel
lights-
like that'll put me on a list.
That sounds like it's good.
That would be his porn name, the Human Flashbang.
Because it's like a flash and it's over.
Flashbang.
Very little, a lot of flash, very little.
Like,
bang.
oh, what, it's like, oh, yeah, you're in porn movies? Oh, they're more like vines. About
like
6
YouTube
seconds.
short.
Like, you can buy it in a DVD. It's about, like, 50
So what
together.
is this? Is this like a? It's just like a. It's just like a compilation. Oh, no. That's every one I've ever done.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
It's a greatest hit.
It's 10. It's 10 minutes long. Yeah, we had a. There's a lot. We had to thank a lot of people.
Yeah.
The only thing whiter than you in the whole film's at the end.
Like the transparent Doctor Manhattan. I like how I'm saying it. I'm like glowing in my legs.
Oh, yeah.
But because the light's coming directly
Yeah.
onto me, I am the whitest thing in the screen right now.
My hand and arm. There's a tattoo you can't see because of the glistening porcelain. That is my skin.
That's why bold lines, my friend.
I just like words.
If everyone asks, no, I'm not a firefighter. My cousin was before he passed away. I have 2 uncles that are. Just because that's a question I get asked a lot. I figure I will throw that out there. And then if anyone ever asks me and doesn't watch this episode, I'm just going to revert them back to this so it'll get used.
Mm-hmm. Oh, my tattoos, if no one's asking.
No one's asking.
Rings. Just go to Lord of the Rings, All Those Who Wander Are Not Lost, and Suicide Prevention. Not that you can see it because it's super light, but it's, what do you call it?
It's a very spaced out semicolon.
Thank you. I cannot remember what the freaking thing it was called.
That is what some would like to call a dot or a period and a comma.
I thought of a great tattoo idea, like a couple's tattoo idea. Get one like it's like either vagina or tramp stamp. It's like speak friend and enter. And you tattoo friend in Elvish on your dick.
There you go. That's a good one. Weirdly, my brother got in trouble for cheating on his wife, so now he has her name tattooed on his penis. But he did it himself with his own gun.
Name Jen?
Huh?
Jen?
No, Sarah. Which, weirdly, is also his mom's
The short Sarah or the long Sarah?
Yours, Sarah? Is there an H?
There's an H. There's an H at the end.
Your brother's got a lot more Sarah than I do. I'll tell you that.
I'd be lucky to get initials.
Yeah, we'd start having to call that bitch S. Hey,
what's up?
What you doing over there? Yeah, I can only imagine people like, what's the S on there for? Small?
No, there's actually an X. It's an any.
Yeah. No, buddy, it stands for smidge, which sounds significantly smaller than the word small.
Yeah.
Those are the rails that we'll be going off of.
Yep. Yep. And as I'm an autistic person, I like going off the rails because I love trains.
Glad you said it.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, out of all of us, he scored the lowest on the Reds test.
Why is that surprising? He admitted having autism, and you also said, I second the trains thing. The fuck? I decided he was quietly staring at the wall.
Yeah, weirdly, he's the least nerdy person here because he loves sports. As the
Very.
least autistic.
No, you can be very nerdy with sports, and he is an example of very nerdy with sports.
There's
motherfucker knows statistics.
So there's sports nerds.
Yeah.
And then there are sports people. So
Yeah.
I'm friends with a lot of sports people, but I know the nerdy part of sports. So even the sports people call me nerds, and then the nerds hear me talk about sports, and they're like, wow, you somehow made sports nerdy. So
I feel like being a sports nerd is more acceptable than having a life-size Iron Man helmet in your house.
yeah,
Or
kinda, I
3
guess.
Warhammer armies.
Yeah.
Well, technically, I've got like
Kinda. I do have a sick dedication.
I have 8 Warhammer factions. I don't have full armies at my house currently. That's including yours.
But I have those, and I have the entire A squad of SPD Power Rangers.
Okay.
The A squad. I don't think. First off, I don't think you understand. The Power Rangers are the B squad. I have the bad guys. The entire team are the bad guys. I don't even have the entire good guy team. I have the bad guys. So I actually also have the entire army, 2 sets, the entire army of the Psycho Rangers, and that's because they look sick as hell.
Ooh, Patreon content idea.
Okay.
I'm not giving them enough time.
No, Warhammer. We just do like a Warhammer thing,
Okay.
or a Dungeons and Dragons thing, or
Yeah.
like we
Oh,
can
yeah.
do shit like that. Cause
We could do, like, if we wanted to, if we ever got enough people
Like
to
a
do
board
an
game.
actual D&D, we could, I don't know if we'll ever get enough people to do a D&D game. We
We
could definitely
could.
get enough
Oh yeah, I know enough.
to do a D&D one-shots if we
Yeah.
wanted to do one-shots. I think those could be accepted. I think being able to, because we all know people that play D&D. Getting
Well,
people to all come together on the same days to play D&D consistently and
Well,
consecutively.
technically, we currently have 5 that can do them on the same days.
Us 5?
That's 5.
We could. But,
Yeah, and Jim, I think
don't
once you
give a fuck.
far was that
So who
six.
the hell's going to be the DN?
I mean, I'm a lovely writer. I could DM some. Yeah,
Perfect. There you go.
I'll Google how
I
to
would
DM.
have
I'll
4.
DM some shit.
That's all we
That's
need
a
for
party.
a party.
Yeah, 4 is a good party.
Well, you two better stop killing.
No!
No,
We're
I'm all
not
for it.
Critical Role or fucking
I'm all
Dimension
for it.
20.
I don't give a fuck where
Although I
we're
love
going.
Dimension 20. And Critical Role, I just love for their teach.
Hey, let me tell you, Dimension 20 is solid.
Oh, yeah. I just like
Well,
it.
if we get it big enough as a podcast, maybe we can get the Dungeon and Daddies guys.
Those guys are also solid. We got a t-shirt for Dungeons and Daddies, too.
Yeah.
Dungeons and Daddies, I have a fucking Bullywog shirt. It says Bullywog's a place where a kid can beat a kid. Because that Bullywog's in the
I
first
remember
season.
that episode,
Yeah,
yeah.
Bullywog's in the first season, they have a kid fighting ring. Kids fight. They bet all their money on Peyton and he wins. Old Peyton. Piss Pants Peyton.
I'm currently really into this podcast called Old Gods of Appalachia, and they have like a tabletop game.
They're sick.
We're going to the live show in
Oh, really?
June 22nd.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, I got tickets for
That's
Brittany for
6 days before your fight.
her birthday. Yeah,
It is.
I have to do something 2 weeks in a row. That's crazy.
Are you going to this fight?
Yeah, I bought tickets. Yeah.
I bought a ticket as well, but Anthony forgot about a ticket because I sent money to Ash. And I said, Anthony's going to forget I sent you this money. And she's like, I know. And then Anthony messaged me 3 days later. He's like, did you get my fight ticket?
Yeah, well, I thought I'd lost the money, so.
But I also bought popcorn that day. When was that supposed to come in?
I don't know.
6 months ago.
And he's like, I'm not sure, but we had a lot of popcorn in the house today.
Yeah.
I bought like, what was it? It's like cupcake and
I was buying caramel corn for people. That's stuff.
Buckeye? No, Puppy Chat.
puppy chow.
You mean Buckeye popcorn?
Yeah, big puppy chow popcorn, brother.
Puppy chow I can see, but like Buckeyes, like chocolate peanut butter popcorn.
Puppy chow is just chocolate and peanut butter.
I guess so. Yeah.
That's,
I know, because
I
I
don't-
took
I
home
don't-
back once, not a big puppy chow.
I had to help my daughter make puppy chow, but I don't really remember all too much. So,
Yeah.
because they always ask me to do things, and then
My buddy at work, Raymond, he came to work. Was yesterday? I think it was. I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before, but he said his grandma made no bake cookies.
Oh.
He gave me one. No bake cookies are a weird topic for a weird subject because I think some people suck at making.
no, agreed.
It's really hard because it's
It's
the
the talent.
fucking ingredients. But I've got some that are awful. Like if there's too many oats in it, it's awful.
yeah,
So far, I've yet to have any that beat my mom's. That make cookies.
No one should know better beat your mom.
Oh, I might.
Yeah, that me too.
yeah, your mom's a good people.
I
I've
danced with
only
his mom
talked
at
to
his
her a few
wedding.
times.
She calls me son.
My
My
mom's
mom calls Anthony son.
Yeah.
Just me and Anthony have known each other since the third grade.
I think I gave your mom a cupcake at your wedding.
Probably she was there. You had cupcakes.
I handed cupcakes
I
out.
mean, I should have mentioned Anthony's wedding. Us. But I probably just didn't actually mention because you were part of the enemy too.
Yeah.
Stephanie was still there.
Oh, that makes sense. Most of the time. I share custody with her.
But I was one of Anthony's groomsmen. Me and old Katie Dixon.
She's good people.
Katie were.
Yeah.
We sat next to each other in every single class. Every single class, we sat next to each other. It was alphabetical order, Dixon, Deddy. So I'd always be like right one seat in front of her every single time. So Anthony and his ex, we don't remember, I'll say their name, whatever, they decided that for comedy's sakes, me and Katie should be the groomsmen and the bridesmaid together. So we had to walk down the aisle together. And it was just funny because we were always next to each other in every class. And then without them knowing, we both scheduled our hotel at where everybody was staying in the hotel. We both booked our hotel and not out of their control and out of our control. So we didn't know, whatever. Our rooms were right next to each other.
Yeah.
So it was like we literally were just next to each other.
Wasn't your wedding in a barn in Southern County, though? Why'd you get a hotel for that?
Because it was like a 30-minute drive.
Yeah.
Well, longer for him.
Yeah, I live in Chicago.
Sure, yeah, okay, that makes sense.
It was down closer to South Shore, down by Portsmouth, wasn't it?
No, it was close. It was Chesapeake.
Oh, okay. God,
It
that's a long. How did I make it that far carrying cupcakes in my car? I'm a terrible driver.
I made that far with my nephew in the car. I'm a terrible driver.
They both survived.
Oh, no, that was when I had the minivan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not me too. He was my nephew. My nephew's a very large boy. That is.
Old
was,
Beta Wolf.
He was Beta Wolf because Alpha Wolf couldn't show up for the rehearsal, so Tyler had to be the stand-in. We called him Beta Wolf. And then I realized he wasn't eating gummy bears.
Yeah. My family may have got him drunk.
Yeah. Kept giving him gummy bears and jelly shots.
That's not a bad thing. I mean,
Because I told him, I was like, Tyler, I don't really want you to drink. He's like, okay. And then we get there, and I'm like, what the hell? And then I had seen him out, and I was like, why has he got a cup of gummy bears? And then I saw Allie, Anthony's cousin, was walking by. She's like talking to everybody, and I was like, Allie, is gummy bears look a little damn, because like she was holding her, whatever her kid, or whatever kid she had in front.
Yeah.
And I was like, those look a little damp. I said, they spit them back out. And she's like, oh no, those are covered in pie. And I was like, didn't know we had that kind of gummy bears. And then it dawned on me, I was like, I just seen Tyler have gummy bears.
Yep.
Damn. At that point, I was like, oh, we're already too deep. Can't stop it.
Yeah.
Plus, it's really hard to stop anyway, because that time he's in school still, same size as me.
oh,
So,
He's a large boy.
there was no way, that wasn't going to stop it. He
Like,
wanted to
he
drink.
gets up to speed, he's going through the wall.
Yeah. Nah, he's a big old boy.
just very pull out sheet. Toro.
Yeah,
I work for Bugs Bunny. That work for you. Just
I
run
was
into a
talking to
wall.
him today. He's wanting to try to get and probably be with him. So we do that soon.
Oh, nice.
See what's going on. That's why I requested off Wednesday and Thursday of this week. Because they want to meet on Wednesday.
Oh, so you just want to sound cool in front of your friends, because I didn't want to.
No, I don't want to go to work, but I told Tyler that, and Tyler's like, cool, we'll make the plans for Wednesday.
Yeah,
That's what you requested. It's fair. That sounds like fair. Okay. Checks out. I was looking forward to having nothing to do on that day. Having something to do on that day now sounds better.
Yeah, I don't know what
Well,
it
it
is
sounds
about.
better for the excuse to work.
I don't know if it's about my mid-30s, but like if I have a day off, I hate doing anything on that day off.
I feel it.
Like
Like last depends. Like I enjoy doing this.
Yeah.
I enjoy looking forward to coming
Yeah,
here.
like, this
It's
is
fun
fun.
because this is just hanging out with people we're talking.
and like last week I went to that Curiosities Oddities thing in Columbus. That was fun, but like
Did you?
oh yeah,
The little oh no, wait, I'm thinking of something different. There's a over by the Eastgate Mall or whatever, there's like an art museum.
Yeah.
And that's like an immersive art museum that's just
oh yeah, the other world or anything.
Yeah, yeah.
I
yeah.
wanted to go to that. It's on
I
my
went.
list.
That's where I went like 2 weekends ago. With my stepsister and her boyfriend.
Okay.
We went to, but they had like a little arcade thing that closes in like July.
Yeah.
And like the arcade was like all, and it really like basically how I considered it was the Wii Sports, so like the Nintendo Wii of fucking arcade games. Every
Yeah.
game had you fucking physically doing stuff.
Honestly, I
I
like
felt
that.
a little tight for the next couple days. Let me tell you that. The basketball one, I was going hard.
That's like when I went to I was
It was
a
fun.
groomsman for a buddy's wedding, and we went laser tag at like
Holy.
in like
You know who was good at laser tag? Keenan.
Cleveland. I want to say Barovia, but I know that's wrong. Starts with a B. It's by
Xavier?
Batavia.
Did you hear what I said?
No.
So you good. It was good at laser tag. Keenan. Think about it. Obviously good.
Oh God! I told you. You told me Keenan was. Jesus. He can make
He
those
was not
jokes.
good. He is too tall.
He also blended in with all surroundings.
But anyway, back to what I was
Now we've
saying.
made a Tropic Thunder joke. Continuing
So
on.
I was.
He was good though. The one time we did go in class, like third or fourth grade or whatever, he was really fucking good. Because he was so tall, he could just like reach over most of the shit.
Oh yeah.
All
I went straight
I
up
did put a
fucking
gun on
Call of
screen,
Duty
so-
with it. So I was like crouched down.
Me
like,
too, but-
Crouched running through
But
it.
when you're going against him,
But I
he
was
just
doing
like,
it like 25. My God.
oh yeah, yeah.
I
was
was
even a kid. I was
so
like, nah, dude.
damn sore.
I'll tell you what,
Like
dude.
we got done, I stood up straight, took all the stuff off, and I'm like, I can't sit down or I'm not getting back up.
Yeah.
Because we
Yeah.
played laser tag for like 3 hours.
Yeah, we did that when I
Dude,
was.
my leg was sore from that. Just that arcade was sore for like a week.
Yeah.
When I worked for a newly foster care, which shout out, they do good work. Be a foster parent, they need more of them. But we went to Scene 75 for a Christmas thing.
Scene
and-
75, that's what
Yeah, yeah, and we like that. Oh, their laser tag's amazing.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Last time I played laser tag was When I was in Atlanta, Georgia. We went to just me and a couple of buddies. Me, Derek Heyman, and Josh Good all went to the Smite World Championship down there
Oh yeah.
in Atlanta, Georgia. And we went to we paid for the after party tickets. They just gave you an unlimited card to play all the arcade games. And
that's
you had to
cool.
put your name down on a list to go play laser tag because that's how many people want to play laser tag. It was pretty sick. Actually, the coolest part about that whole day was, so I was joking around with Good. I'm going to call him Cisco. This is gamer tag. It's Jack Cisco. It's
Okay.
numbers, but everybody, literally, the people could show. He works at.
No, say the numbers.
I don't
Find
know.
them online.
I don't know.
Eight, 6, 7, 5,
I don't know what it's on. I don't remember. I think it's 0 something. But where he works at, I won't disclose where he works at, whatever. Where he works at, people actually literally come in and still call him Cisco.
Oh, wow.
His name, I actually forgot last time I was talking to him that his last name was Good.
Huh.
So everybody calls him Cisco. But I was fucking around Cisco and I was like, dude, we should ask some of the Smite professional players to play arcade games with us as a joke and be competitive against arcade players, against people that are professional gamers at games that they are not pro at. So I thought it would be entertaining. And then once I finally talked him into it and he got the courage, I realized that this was my idea. I should be the one that looks like a fool. So I went ahead and started asking people. We actually had a couple of pros play against us.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
I lost air hockey against a pro named Benji, who had just won the world championship at the time. His team had just won the world championship. So he beat me. I did beat the guy who got MVP and won the world championship. I did beat him in air hockey. We had two people that were very German.
Smashed his hand before. Right?
No, we did play against two guys that were very German. And
I don't know them. Why are you looking at me like that?
Well, I'm just saying that we played two guys that were very German, and they beat us really bad at basketball.
Yeah.
Like they challenged us 2-on-2 at basketball, and they both shot at the same time and just dodged us. And they were really cool. Like they thanked us and everything. They told us, like, hey, thanks for treating us like people instead of acting like we were just celebrities. They're not coming to the basket just for our autographs and pictures. Like they were like, hey, we don't have, people act like we are something bigger than what we are. We're actually. It's
cool.
awesome that you guys were asking us to play games and not like acting like we were celebrities. Because if you guys do want pictures, we'll take pictures, whatever. This was awesome.
Hell yeah.
That was like the response we actually got, which was a lot better response I thought we would get. Because I thought people would just laugh in our face and not care.
We're like, fuck you, I'm a pro gamer.
Yeah, like we thought that they would put themselves in the high horse, but they really didn't. It was like, hey, we'll play against you.
I mean, at that point, like, if that's your sport, then kind of realize it's your nerdy sport.
Yeah, I mean, and like I said, they were like, can we play two? Can we do 2-on-2? I'm like, yeah, sure, do 2-on-2, which was Panda Cat and Yaman. Those are the two names. The people. Yaman was one of my favorite players at the time. Panda Cat was at that time. Panda Cat was also, he won. I do believe he was also on the winning team, the world championship that year, and he was like just changing the way the game was played. He was changing the meta every week. And people were trying to follow him. That's why they were just. His team was just head and shoulders better than everybody that year. It was pretty sick though. That was the last time I played laser tag. Got bodied by a bunch of 12-year-olds.
Oh, I got beat by a bunch of kids.
Yeah, dude. Let me tell you, I got lost in there. I had no idea.
I straight up pistol whipped one of my buddies because he got on the opposite team by accident. And he just walked up to him like dead, and he's like, "Fuck you."
And then he turns and shoots you. And he's like, "Actually, you're dead." That's
Yeah.
that checks out. That's on me. Sorry about that.
Honestly, I just what do you call it? Bruce Willis it most of the time.
Hitting the air ducts.
No, just like ran like I'll hit a child, I guess. I'm large. I can't.
I think at one point I did pick up like a 10-year-old by the vest and like held him out as a shield. I was kind of drunk when we got there, and it was like, all right, I'm gonna have fucking fun.
I couldn't drunk
Drunk
it. I was wearing my work's name on my shirt. Also, I looked like Grimace because it was a purple shirt, and that was before I started losing weight, so I looked like Grimace. There's kids while they're, we're playing laser tag with the Grimace. It's great.
Nah, the Grimace Shake hadn't came out yet. I don't know who that is.
Oh, no, that was after the Grimace Shake.
Oh, okay,
No,
perfect.
no,
they were
no.
afraid you're going to eat them.
Yeah, and they were afraid I was.
They're like, we had the Grimace Shake. This guy's going to kill us.
Yeah. It's a Grimace.
Little kids have no chill on insults. They go right where it hurts.
They do.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah. So this is pretty much where it's going to be on these ones.
Yeah.
I just wanted to see how long the silence would be.
All over the place. Sometimes silence.
Boy. Just like here.
To be fair, we're talking
If
for
we
like
do-
3 hours.
Yeah,
before
If
this.
we do,
Because I forgot to hit record.
if we do put if we do say your name in the podcast, and you do hear it, you do see it, and for your benefit or whatever, for disclosure, for the future, if you want us to not say your name, yeah. Once we have the Discord up and running, you can tell us, hey,
Yeah.
Right.
That's
Recognition, total.
Anonymity.
That word.
Yeah, so John, Michael, Steve, Anthony, the other
but we
ones.
do, since we're not big, we're not big at all. And these people, people we are talking about are dear to us in some form.
Yeah.
We're not talking
I think
shit. We're talking.
like a combined 900 fans.
Yeah. He was saying that if you combined all of our weight, we could go stand on one of those truck scales and it would register.
Yeah.
The state highway patrol.
I weigh the most.
The state highway patrol would.
That's what I'm missing. 287, 290.
The state highway patrol would come out and say we're over.
I'm 6 foot though, so it looks. I do look fat, but if you see me from the back, you're like, dang, that might be a fit broad. And I turn, you're like, nope, not.
No, just a fat dude.
You can still be a bit broad.
I'm
just
all,
with a beard.
but I'm just all. Well, I used to have long hair, so when
Yeah.
I have long hair, people are like, dang, that shawty ain't got no ass, but at least she ain't fat. And I turn like, holy shit, that's not only fat, but that's a dude.
That's not all but that's a
It
dude.
happens.
I have my dad's structure. My dad's structure is just front fat. Like I'm not like fat. I'm just up the front. Basically, it's like a orangutan.
Oh, there you go.
Not orangutans, because orangutans are just.
That's
Not
called
right.
stress. This part is like cortisol that builds up and gives you stress. So you get fat that way. That is stress. That
It's
is
weird
what
because
that is.
I'm not very stressful.
So food.
I like the way it's probably just a tumor. We'll figure it out. It's like a growth. You have a growth. I have a growth. I've seen it. It's a
horrible.
preschool runs around.
Oh yeah.
It was what's a growth. Runs around, loves Minecraft. Loves
Loved Minecraft.
Minecraft, top notch. Every time I talk to him,
The
Minecraft.
movie was great though.
Not seen the movie.
I
Gotta
want
watch
to.
the movie.
I have seen a lot of people watch the movie for negative connotation rather than positive connotation. Like people going to watch it to make jokes of it rather than go to watch it serious.
Go
Although if I-
watch it, have fun.
But
It's a
that's what I
movie.
said. I've just seen more people do that, so it's not giving me a. It's not. I'm not received wanting to watch it. People are like, oh, it's so stupid. They make fun of They do the chicken jockey
Yeah.
thing. And they show movie theater everybody doing stupid shit.
I'm gonna be
Yeah,
honest,
they're
if I
just
hear
acting.
one more adult male chicken jockey, I'm doing the end of Jay and Silent Bob, finding their name, and going to their house.
Beating the shit out of them, talking shit.
It could be a thing.
But it's
You
just
be the Jay
I've
and my
just seen-
Silent Bob.
just
Yeah.
seen a lot of like I said, just seen a lot of more negativity and positivity make it influence me not watching.
It's fair.
I just like.
You need to watch Havoc still though. You did say
Yeah,
you
yeah.
watch it.
It's a good movie. I watched it twice. Mainly because the first time I
25th.
started playing video games, and then just kind of like
Yeah,
paid
I'm gonna watch it
attention
today. I'll watch.
might
If I
do
get
it
the rest of
tonight.
the week off, I'll definitely. I definitely will have it watched by homework assignment.
Yeah, I'll probably watch it tonight and play Mario Kart while I do so because I've got Anahata and I can't sit still for very long. That's what I call ADHD. Anahata.
Oh, I was thinking it means family. That's
Uh,
Ohana.
To
that's
be
a lot.
honest with you, I thought you were talking about Anna, the steakhouse.
I don't go
I was like,
there
interesting.
because I've heard some really bad things about that place being
Yeah.
like a front for drugs.
Yeah,
That's
I've
the best
been,
place to eat.
I've heard places have had like bugs and stuff. Hey, baby, it'll all cook out. I'll eat it.
Yeah,
Well,
but
they
the
get it
meth
up there.
doesn't.
That's like when she brought us those cookies that one time. I had one of just that one had an ant on it.
Oh, they're all bad. Chocolate covered ants are amazing. As are chocolate covered grasshoppers. These things are the bomb.
No, I refuse to eat. I don't really refuse to eat stuff like that because, like, back when I worked at Chillicothe Mart, there was somebody tried to get us to eat like the dead mealworm things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you had to eat one in order to become a pets guy. That's how they deemed it. All people that worked in pets ate one and became pets guys.
That's something you could sue somebody.
I did not eat one, so I was not a pets guy. Pets guy.
My uncle
I'm
Edward,
not
God
fucking
rest his soul, he loved chocolate covered chip like that. So I just, granted, he also likes cigars and like good booze and duck.
I don't
So.
remember what it was. Was it you that was talking about?
What?
So who said there was a place that sold alligator? Was it you?
I mean, I assume you can get alligator in a grandpa. No.
Uncle Jim's?
Yeah.
Jungle
No,
Jim?
Jungle
Jim's.
Jim's. Uncle Jim.
And it's his uncle. They're real close.
My son's name's Jim.
Then it must have been. Aaron. I know it's the person who told me is a new person that has been introduced to me.
Yeah, okay.
So
Oh,
I just started hanging out with Aaron and my stepsister, her boyfriend Aaron. And I just started talking to Jared. So I think it had to have been a new face that came. Could have also been Raymond, really. And he's not new. He's just weird. He just randomly started talking. He just recently started talking. He's normally a quiet guy, but let me tell you, you get him on the topic of the side by side. That boy would go crazy. He's been trying to get me to buy a side by side so I could go behind him.
I got kicked out of the Pickaway County Fair for ramping side by side.
That doesn't surprise me one bit.
Yeah.
Surprises me because I would do that. That is.
They said they needed to get the person to the llama farm, the llama barn quickly, and there was a large ditch in the way. So ramp the ditch. I don't see the problem. But the sheriff saw things otherwise.
Yeah, I had when I worked at Menards. It was like there was snow all over the floor, or snow on the ground, whatever outside.
Yeah.
And I thought there was a big ass snow pile, and I was going to drive through on my forklift. I hit it going full speed, and it was a giant ice ramp. I flew into the air, landed on two wheels, slammed perfectly down the floor, got off the lift, went and shit my pants. Well, I didn't shit my pants. I went and shit immediately in the bathroom and said, well, that was something we'll never do again. So
No, I didn't.
that was terrifying.
I haven't done it again.
I was like, yep, we won't be doing that. Joey's like, where are you going? I said, yeah, okay.
Allegedly, there was a time in Portsmouth where I was doing donuts and the Portsmouth PD got behind me, and I lost them in my Chevy Cavalier. So I crashed my Chevy Cavalier full force into a snow pile. Allegedly. And then ran into the building and got in my pajamas. And when they knocked on the door, we all just answered. And they're like, well, do you own this? I'm like, it's cool, what you talking about? I haven't been out all night.
Yeah.
Well, your front bumper's hanging off. I don't know. It's something I need to fix.
Yeah.
We got pulled over because you ran that road.
Yep.
See, I had a Cavalier Z. So it was the one with the neat ground effects and like the wing and everything they sold.
I had a Cavalier.
Yeah.
I had two of them, actually. I had a 4-door and a 2-door.
I had the 2-door black one.
I had a Beretta. Chevy Beretta.
Let me see. At this point, I have owned probably 32 cars in my life. Yeah,
Nice.
me and my dad would just buy, sell, and
Catching up,
trade.
keep racking them.
Thanks your time.
We
I
just,
wrecked the Toyota Corolla. I didn't wreck it. I was asleep. It wrecked itself.
It wrecked itself.
See, I had the Corolla, I had the Beretta, I had the Saturn, which did wreck things. I just switched cars. I had the Cobalt, didn't wreck it, just switched cars. I had the Rio. I didn't wreck it. Somebody interrupted me running a red light. The car I have now, my Forte.
So how many?
6.
okay.
About 4.
But to be fair, like I said, I only wrecked one and had to switch to another car. And then
Yeah, 3.
wrecked the other and switched to a car. So not all mine have been because of wrecks. I've just switched to upgrade cars.
Well, I've crashed 3 times. One time I crashed into a ditch driving home during a level 3 snow emergency, and I crashed 4 times and broke out the window of my Jimmy and then drove out. I crashed my ex-mother-in-law's Dodge Neon into a tree driving a level 3 snow emergency when I worked for the A plant. Let's see, and I hit a deer driving home from the A plant going 80.
Oh, level 3 emergency.
No, that was what a study. And then the last time I got in a car accident was in the Waverly Walmart parking lot, and this Chevy HHR pulled out in front of me in the parking lot, and I hit them in that car. It has no marks on it. Their door fell off the HHR. I ended up paying them $500 because they didn't have car insurance, and they were like, "Well, we could sue you." Da, 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 da. They were holding their neck. I'm like, "I'll give you $500." Walk away. They're like, deal. And they got in their car and like loaded the door.
Yeah, because they didn't even put the door back on it.
No. Yeah. I mean, that thing already had like a crack in the windshield and mirror was missing. I wasn't.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I've wrecked one car 4 times. I hit another car, truck, a fence, a person, a dumpster.
You better say your fence. She was late to school that day because she hit the fence.
I didn't. No, no. Dad still dropped me off at school that day. I forgot because we left before the cop showed up.
Technically, I crashed the Jimmy twice, but the second time wasn't a crash. It was the brakes went out because when we bought it, we didn't clean up any of the rust.
Mhm.
And I was going over the train tracks from my hometown of Sterling, and the brake lines busted off the bottom. So I couldn't really stop. So I had to take the corner to my dad's house on like 2 wheels, and then to stop it before I got to the end of the road, I just aimed it at a tree and just let it hit the tree at the end of the road. I hit the tree like a 20. It was fine. It took the hit. It was good. Just replaced the front bumper and put some new brake lines on it. It was fine.
In person at 35. That was fun. She hit me technically.
And that's how he got sole custody of his kid.
No. No. This was a college student before my kids was born. And they were just really stupid that apparently green means they go across the crosswalk while there's traffic. They almost got hit by a van, which probably would have killed them. Instead, they hit the side of my passenger side wheel well, crashed through my windshield. Their glasses were going on my windshield wiper, and then did a barrel roll into my car, according to the person behind me.
Huh.
I thought they were dead. It's not the case. The cop just
So you
like,
wrecked
hey.
that car? What? Any other wrecks on any other cars?
No, that was a separate car.
Okay, so that was a separate car. Did you wreck two different cars?
Yeah.
And then you got rear-ended? And the car you currently have? Is that the sweet car you wrecked? So let's not talk about me upgrading my car because I'm in the same car.
I didn't upgrade my car,
Huh?
damn it.
Let's not talk about that, huh?
I didn't upgrade mine.
I was wrecked too. One was a dual car I didn't hit because I was asleep. The other, I was trying to run a red light and somebody rudely interrupted.
I just flipped my car so much. Like, what do you call it? Flipped them like by
The fence just materialized.
Damn it, I remember and I was hit in the Saturn. It's a big cars.
Yeah.
But that one was also her fault. I was also
Although every car that I've owned has been in a wreck. I just wasn't the one that caused the one in my Malibu.
I'm not.
Well, I didn't cause the one in my Nissan.
My dad
either.
about wrecked my car because he's been driving my Forte.
Yeah.
He said that he was at Kroger. He was trying to leave. Had a car almost back up in front of him.
I did almost get hit by a semi.
Just realized the light is like drawing everyone to my crotch now. I mean, it's just like
Do you have a quest for us?
He's on a mission.
I think we need to pull on it and see what happens.
Huh?
So I think we need to pull on it and see what happens.
It is not a Christmas cracker from England.
Blow.
Yeah. 3 car accidents. Yeah. The one, the lady was, it was in front of the YMCA, so it was 15, 20 miles per hour is maximum you can do there in that park. So she was in the far right lane, and she was switching to the left lane. Whatever. Anyway, so she was in the right lane, switching into the left lane. I was in the turn only. So when she switched into it, she had her turn signal on, going through an intersection. So that was like to me, when I seen her having the turn signal and going through the intersection, I assumed she was taking the turn. Let's see what you did. I know what you did. But let's see. But she didn't. She just stayed in that lane and then hit me going like 20 and dented my car. And then she's like, "Can I see your ID?" I said, "Sure." I showed her my ID. And she got in the car and drove off with it.
What's your ID?
And I started to follow her because I was like, "What the fuck are we doing?" So I followed her, and then like she called the cops, and I was like, "Yo, what the fuck?" And she's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Yeah." I said, "I don't have my insurance card on me, so I can't show it to her. I had insurance just in my card on me."
Yeah.
And then the cop got there, and he's like, "So what happened?" She's like, "Oh, he hit me, whatever." The cop said, "Where it happened at?" She's like, "Right down the road." They said, "Why are we 3 blocks away?" She's like, "He doesn't have his insurance. He doesn't have insurance." I said, "Well, hold on. I didn't run." She took my ID. 1. 2, I don't have my insurance card on me. I have insurance. And then the cops are all right, you're talking to me. And then it comes to find out like a month later when I finally got a hold of the police to get my ticket because their system was down that day or whatever.
Yeah.
And I finally was trying to get a hold of him to pay off my ticket or see how much it was going to be. He told me that it was waived by the court because she went to her husband, who was an auto mechanic, to get her damages fixed, which was like a small chip on her bumper. Really, you could covered it up with a permanent marker if you wanted to.
Yeah.
But she went to her husband, and they claimed that there was over 3,000 damage done. They had done this multiple times. I was caught up in an insurance fraud.
No.
Oh, damn.
So I had to pay nothing. I ended up getting a newer car right after that. I ended up switching to, because that was a 96 Saturn, and I had switched to a 03 or 04
Yeah.
Corolla, or not Corolla, to a Cobalt.
Oh.
And my insurance went down because they found out that I was part of it, that they were trying to get me for insurance money. They were trying to get insurance fraud via me with my insurance.
Yeah.
They had done it multiple times. I guess her husband was one of the people that you could, my insurance would cover, or certain insurance companies would cover, so they would just do that, which was kind of wild.
That is one.
So, she hit me. I ended up having to pay the ticket, but I didn't have to. Well, I had to pay the ticket, but I didn't have to pay any kind of court costs or anything of that nature. The ticket was like $100, and it was for failure to yield an agreement.
Huh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, failure to yield an agreement.
I don't think I've ever opened this book. Can't freaking mess it.
Oh, yeah. Which one's that?
Eberron, Rising from the Last War.
Well, that's a good one. That's got some cool classes in it.
I was gonna say, I know there's airships in it, that's why I think I got it.
It's got the robot.
And
What is
Raptor
it
riding.
called? Warforged.
Warforged, yeah.
I've had this forever and I've never
I
used
have on D&D Beyond. I have the frog class, where you can be a frog if you want to be. I want to work on a big ass campaign. Actually, I have kind of been working on campaigns because my D&D Beyond now has to where you can do the digital maps.
Oh, yeah.
So I was building
Warforged
digital maps.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm
Warforged.
going to cook up. It's going to be kind of the same concept as the one that was running from. And then I was kind of doing the ones from the depths of hell and coming up and everything.
Yeah.
I'm going to do something very similar to that, like have people how you had your story at the beginning and why you were in hell, and other people have their story why they're in hell.
Yeah.
And then battling from hell to come up as it's the battle of angels and demons, and then you're trying to the angels are trying to assist you from getting out of hell so that you can be on the good side of the battle.
I almost made your ex-brother-in-law cry because he wanted to. He didn't realize I was killing him for story, not because to be a dick.
I don't know. So I mean,
even after explaining to him, hey, you're going to die.
But I also like to do things different. That rubs people the wrong way because my DM style is I think natural 20s should be rewarded, but I don't believe a natural 20 should make the supernatural happen.
Okay.
Like I think if you're staring at a wall and you're like, all right, I want to look at this wall, or if you're like looking at a door and you're like, hey, I want to open this door. I'm like, okay, so you want to open the door, and you're like, okay, and it's like, no, it's like you roll a natural 20. I'm not going to be like, yeah, there's a book, four bookcases to the left, very top left one that opens that door. I'm not going to tell you that.
Okay.
I'm going to you see there's a mechanic that some mechanism that's probably attached to the door and there's probably a lever.
Yeah.
Letting you go look somewhere else.
Yeah.
I'm not going to reward. I'm not going. That's supernatural. You're not looking at it and you're like, fake book.
Well, the only thing, so a natural
like
20 is only a critical success on a hit or a saving throw. Anything else, a natural 20 is just 20 plus your modifier. So
Okay.
if you need to have a 30,
everything.
if you need to have a 30 to have the insight check to know that the merchant is lying to you or scamming you, and you roll a 20, but you only got a +5, you're still not going to know. You might think something's up, like something seems a little fishy, but you're not 100% sure
See,
what.
I always because I've had somebody roll a natural 20 while like one guy was doing something, like he was clearly trying to hide something, which I'm totally cool with. Like the guy was looking at stuff, and he was looking at his face. He was like in the corner, so like right here. This guy rolled a natural 20. He's like, I should be able to see what he's doing. You can. You can't see what he's doing through his body.
Yeah.
That's supernatural. You can't do that.
Right.
At no point am I going to say, yeah, you see that he found a belt, he found a chain, he found a ring. At no point would you know that. If he's not, if you physically can't see it, that's on you.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, some people think that you should be gifted because that's what you rolled was a natural 20. And I should give you this guy who's doing this scene separately. I should give you what his scene is because you're doing something.
Yeah.
Right.
When in reality, you can't see that guy.
Yeah,
I was in a campaign not too long ago. We was playing. It was ours, the one that we was on the Discord. The guy ended up canceling it.
Yeah.
I fucked his. I think maybe it was right before. I don't know. Maybe you were in it, but I fucked his roll up, and he didn't want to do it because I was using thaumaturgy to do to do a lot of shit. Like we went to this door, and like there's people that had been like ripped to pieces and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And I did thaumaturgy of the sound of little children running off in the distance. And then there was wolves on the side of the door, and they followed the sounds of the children, and that exposed it to me that there was children. But he's like, why would you do that there? It's an open door. We just seen everything ripped to shreds. I'm going to make some. If I have the capability to make a sound somewhere else, I'm going to do that because people are alert to sounds and sight. So if I can take away your sight and make you react to a sound, I'm going to do that. I mean, if you put us in like everything on our side of the wall looks perfectly normal and the doors are closed, sure, I wouldn't do that. It would be not a first thought would be to make sounds or noise.
Right.
I would want to see if the door's trapped, if it's not going through it, and then that would be an explosion. But when you put dead shit on the side of the door I'm on, I'm not going to freely walk through a door because how the fuck did these people?
Because you wouldn't in real life either.
So he wasn't a big fan of that. He wasn't a big fan because he felt like because he also said he was newer to being a DM and he wasn't a fan that like because me and Anthony kept trying to take a back seat, but something we just couldn't. But Anthony has way more experience than I do. But some of the people
the biggest thing that I ever did was my bow was out, so I was playing a ranger. It's like my bow was out. Like we entered this building, my bow was out. It is ready. That way, because it was action to draw your weapon. So I'm just like that way. I know. Yeah, my shit is ready.
I'm on the ready. I'm watching. And I think it deterred him from wanting to do it anymore because he realized that mine and Anthony's soul, being the only 2 out of 5 people or 6 people, that our experience was already going to be too much for his non-experiences.
Yeah. But that and the one dude kept on bitch for it.
Yeah, because they couldn't check the door. Or he's like, I'm standing there. And he's like, we're like, all right, check this door. And then he waits for the scene to finish, and then I'm like, I guess I just go to the next door. But he's like, well, I was just standing there. And then say you're doing something.
Yeah.
Do something. You can't just not do something and then want something to be done. You're not. I said on a video game, you don't walk through the front door and then check everything while standing at the front door.
Yeah, because even after that, I said we can roll initiative before when the game starts. That way, we can just do a turn order of action. Like, hey, I'm going to do this. All right, next person.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
What are you doing? But, sorry, ADHD.
Oh. My favorite one that I did was someone was like, oh, I'm searching this room. I got a natural 20. What do I find? Nothing. There's nothing in the fucking room. What do you expect? It's literally, there's a chair and a fucking desk with no drawers.
I know the first game I ever played of D&D, no names named to be anything. He also wasn't a fan of my style of play. I think it's because I'm under full. I don't play the fool very well. I play the guy who has some sort of knowledge about. If you go through your entire life expecting that nothing to hurt you, you're going to get hurt. And that was like the first one I ever played. We were in a dungeon, and there was an imp on a rock, and you were in the game. There was an imp on the rock, and I had the guy who basically was like, if you sell me your soul, I will be yours forever. And then so I was like, cool. So I sold my soul to the imp. The imp was able to come off the rock. But from this point forward, I could try to persuade people to sell me their soul.
Oh, okay.
and I could get stronger. And doing so, I had to praise the Lord of Chris. The whole game was his, the guy's creation.
Yeah.
Everything
That's his
he
own-
created.
Okay.
So he had his own Lord. And what Chris allowed you to do, because he had a Lord, a God.
Shout out Plains of Oridon.
It's actually,
Just because
it's a
I
fun game.
really enjoyed that.
It is a
system.
fun game. It was a good system. But you had like a Lord, you had a God, and you had something else.
Yeah.
But each one of them kind of gave you like a little thing you could do each session, but they weren't like anything. None of them were game breaking. Some of them you could do cool stuff with.
Yeah.
So watch Cody split a fucking boulder in half because he was immovable.
My whole
It's cool.
job for that, because we were playtesting,
Yeah.
my whole job for that was to break the
Yeah.
classes.
And-
And I
okay.
did so
And
successfully
he had-
at least 5 times.
In the thing he had, that what Chris allowed you to do, Chris's ability was you could break any mind altering illusion
Mhm.
once per session, and you would not fall for the same illusion twice because you've already broken it. You've used your point for the day. So it's like if I'm doing trickery and I'm doing arcane. If I'm an arcane trickster and I use arcane to trick you, you're not going to fall for another arcane trick because you know what to expect.
Yeah.
So we go to this thing, and Anthony has like a transparent salamander or a fucking lizard or something or
Okay.
gecko that we could ride on. And I didn't want we were going traveling large distances, multiple ride on. So I was cool, I'll ride on. So we go to this room, and this room's sitting there, and there's like a big acid, there's like a bunch of acid pits or whatever. And then he's like, all right, you see flower, like he described the whole thing to us, what a good scenery. And I was like, okay, well, I want to go out. I said, fuck it. I'll just take your little salamander thing, or I'll take your lizard, and I'll just go to the other side where the door is. And he goes, okay, but he's like, well, doing that, the flower on the ceiling draws your attention. It puts you under an effect. I said, would you say the effect's an illusion? He said, yes. I break it. And he goes, well, the next flower. I said, next flower can't. It's the same illusion. And he goes, that's not true. I said, that's the same illusion. The same flower.
Yeah. You
And
wrote
he's
the
like-
damn rules.
Yeah.
And he's like, that's how it works. You fall off. He's like, so now you fall. He's like, now you fall limp and you fall on a pool of acid. Okay, I guess I do that. Then. Like, that was the rule.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, you made this rule happen.
Yeah. And
And then by doing so, I used a mechanic you created to beat you at your big problem. He also wasn't. He also. There was one day where he was doing.
To be fair, that was at the end of a 6 or 7 hour
Yeah.
session.
Oh wow.
So, like, we were all,
Tired.
well, a
Yeah.
little drunk, a little tired, a
Okay.
little cranky.
But he also said, like, we also had one who was fighting this thing. And I said, they all have 10 health. And he said, how do you know they all have 10 health? So he thought I was looking at his notes. But I knew they had 10 health because I hit 10 on one of them and killed it. And then I had hit a 9 on another and didn't kill it.
Yeah.
So by process of elimination, if 10 doesn't, 9 doesn't, it's probably 10.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, you advanced. And I told him, no, I just did this. There was also a moment in one of the games. Fuck. He didn't. Oh, he had his. It was some of them. He got stumped and he was fucked. Not like that. But it wasn't like he disliked us as people or anything or any players. Like, so I think my personality, especially in like settings like that, was I like to be. I sometimes can be very argumentative, and I was argumentative, and it was his game, and it resulted in his final decision, which was his game. His final decision.
Right.
That's how it runs.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have argued it. My fault, not his. I do not blame him in any way, shape, or form. It was my fault. I don't think he did not enjoy that encounter, and I made it unenjoyable. That's my fault.
To be fair, it was supposed to be a one-shot session, and we ended up dragging it out into a story, basically.
Okay. But we had one where particular day where he had all these
He
riddles.
wasn't happy with the story as it was because, like I
Because we
said,
were
it
kind of
was.
going everywhere. The story was kind of funky. But he,
What should have been a straightforward drop through town turned into a rescue mission where I killed a dude.
Oh, okay.
and this guy ends up dying, actually.
Yeah, that's how I ended up with the one that can do the
But
salad.
he also, in the process of this, he kills what really got him. Well, the one such I'm about to describe. We had this thing where he had all these riddles out and about.
Yeah.
And he was expecting some of these riddles to stun him. So he said he had done the riddles before, and they had went into a multiple hour session of not being able to solve one of the riddles. And Anthony solved it in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Which was you had to say please.
Yeah.
And then there was
I
another
solved it being a smart ass.
And then there was another one where he gave us a riddle, and I was able to solve it within like a couple minutes. And he's like, man, both of those riddles normally would last a while.
He's like, I don't really have anything planned after this.
He's like, I was hoping these riddles would take a little bit longer while you guys were thinking about them. I could be coming up with more ideas.
Yeah.
Which was, whatever, but we did solve them pretty quick. The one I solved was he's like, you got a door, and the door allows certain. You got a portal. And the portal only allows certain things. It won't allow everything. Like it'll allow foot, but it won't allow hand.
Okay.
It'll allow book, but it won't allow read. It'll allow certain things to go in. He's like, what? He's like, why can't everything get in? And then after a couple minutes, I was like, because the words that are allowed to go through are words that repeat the same letter in the middle.
Okay.
Or they have some sort of repetition of letters. So book, double O's, feet, foot with double E, double O. Hands doesn't have that. Read doesn't have that. They're associated with.
Okay.
So that's why they wouldn't get in. It's like, dang. And it was all said that because they were all smoking out of this front porch. Like, I really don't have. He said, please. He's like, and then we had another one where we were walking through a door and we had to turn around and walk through the other door. And I think Ben, I think it was, right?
Yeah.
He knew that one because it was from a video.
Yeah.
So
he knew that one. I had just played that video game and had just done it, and I'm like, so I'm like biting my tongue, like I know this one, but I can't say it because it's fucking meta knowledge.
Yeah.
And then Ben was like, yeah, turn around, and I was like, you played Helena's City with Sacrifice, didn't you? He said, how'd you know? I said, I just beat that game. I was like, I just played that mission.
He had these three riddles that have stumped multiple parties before.
Yeah.
That didn't stump us. But it was actually fun, and we had some of our stories going. Again, I was new. Cody was new, which was my then fiance's brother, which good guy. He was new to the game, and I think Anthony was still kind of fresh to the game. Whatever. Ben had played multiple times.
I'd been in it for a little while.
But so we were all fairly kind of just getting our footing. So the stories were slowly developing, not at any pace that would be.
Yeah. They were getting used to the system. I was getting used to the new rules that I had gotten implemented.
But he had. Truth be told, we added another guy named Cake. Cake was really cool. Then we added another guy, and that kind of destroyed everything.
Okay.
I don't remember the other guy. He was the guy who made the blood magic guy. I don't remember his name. I know he had joined other games before and also destroyed them. I don't know what's Dan?
Yes.
Something like that. I can't remember what my manager told me to work, but I'm just pretty sure I named everybody just fucking D&D session.
That's fine.
But he forgot something, or we had completed this task and he forgot a reward table because we normally played at his house.
Yeah.
But we couldn't play one particular weekend at his house, so we played at Anthony's house in South Shore, and he didn't have his chest because he actually had like all the magical items written down in an actual chest that he would open and you could draw out.
Oh, that's
cool. Magical items, but he had left those. So he's like, fuck it, you guys find this little thing, and I'll give you a certain amount of rolls, and normally it'll disappear in a couple of rolls. So he gave it to us, but he was hoping he had the average gambler.
Yeah.
Which he did for everybody at the table but me. Because Anthony did something, and he got something super positive. And Anthony gets greedy, super positive, go back in and get hit with something.
Okay.
Ben goes in.
No, we had to say how many times we were going to roll. I got 2 positives. The last roll that I had, because I said 3, was negative. And fucked my character.
And then Ben had 2 negatives and a positive.
Yeah.
Well, everyone went around the table and I said, I want to roll it one time. Okay, roll it one time. So I rolled it one time and I won. My roll was like equivalent to $100 billion.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And then I proceeded from that point forward to give money to everybody.
Okay.
And then I literally had a magical boat that could fly, that could also shrink down to the size of a Hot Wheels car by command word.
Cool.
Also, I had a key that I carried around my neck that was an interdimensional mansion that had 100 rooms that was always constantly filled with food and water or any drink of your necessity. It was basically a bag of holding, but a mansion.
Yeah.
I had all this stuff, and he tried to throw something at us to get rid of all of my magical items because we had a fuck ton of magical items.
Yeah.
These things at us. And he's like, well, I took out your backpack because my backpack had a bunch of magical items in it. I was like, oh, I said, yeah. I said, but you didn't take out the ship or the mansion. He's like, yeah, I did. I said, they're not in my backpack, they're around my neck. So he never went after my neck. And we pretty much never played again.
Yeah.
It's gone. He was trying to get rid of the mansion because he fucked up by allowing me to get one.
Yeah.
Because it was like, he was
It's like playing the deck of many things.
yeah.
Ah, okay.
But he basically was like, I'll roll
I forget what it's called, like orb of
something. But he was like, basically,
Orb
he
of
was like,
possibilities.
yeah. He's like, because somebody had this mansion before that we went into. I was like, where'd you get that? He gave us a location. And then when he gave us this location that they could make it, unfortunately, Ben's character teleported and he rolled a random location and it was that fucking location where the guy bought it. So when I got there, I know that someone there makes it. So I was paying people hundreds of thousands of dollars to find the guy who could make this item. And he made this item. So now there's only 2 in existence. And I have one of them. And it was unfortunate that Ben was that. If Ben didn't teleport there, I would have never went there any house.
Yeah.
I also bought because I was a ranger and I couldn't cast any spells.
Okay.
So I bought wands. I bought a wand of healing. And on his aspect, you could use crystals, which would allow you to use spell slots.
Okay.
I bought 100 crystals with 10 spots each, and then bought a slave from the guy who sold me these that has no form of magic, but is able to charge these because he can't use magical powers, but he possesses the magical capabilities. And I paid him to fill all of these up so I could heal people at a constant rate and never have to worry about it.
Yeah.
And then I set the guy free because he had a collar around his neck. And I set him free and gave him fucking like $10,000 to do whatever the fuck he wanted.
Yeah.
And then he ended up wanting to learn from Ben's character because Ben's character wanted to teach him magic, so he wanted to learn that. So Ben got a fucking apprentice. So now he gained people to our army, and we had unlimited healing. So he was like, I don't really like how this is going. We have a lot of shit going on here.
Well,
Which is reasonable because he thought, because like I said, most people in a gambling situation, oh man, Anthony's like 3 pools. I actually don't think we had 7 pools. I think he gave us the option to pool and then gave us the option to pool again. Because I would have probably said more than. But he went around the table and if you pulled positive, normally when you pull positive, streak's hot, baby, let's run it. But I'm also not the kind of gambler that if I win, if I'm gambling with $100 and I win 200, I'm putting 100 of that in the bank and only gambling with house money. But when he's like, you got $10 million, and everything else on this list I can buy.
Yeah.
It's done. I will not have to purchase any other thing on this list. It's finished. Like you're like, nah, you get a private item. Go ahead and buy that. That was actually an option I could have bought an abandoned castle and completely had it basically refurbished. So if I wanted my character to retire, I could.
oh, cool.
I gave him that option, so I could try to retire the character to do that. But it wouldn't make sense for my character's arc because my character's arc was trying to bench his family.
Well, if you guys are serious about wanting to do the D&D thing, I will definitely DM it. It'll be my first one ever, but I will do it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, even if you want to just run like an actual simulation, and like obviously if you want to work on one that you want to take to actually have full story, but if you want to run a simulation just so you get the internet in your
Okay.
I'm cool with that too. Because Anthony ran a simulation one time and it was going fine, but we also played with my ex-fiance at the time and she did not.
Yeah. It's kind of it.
I didn't mean to ruin anything.
No, not you.
You ruined
I made
everything.
sloppy joes and mac and cheese.
Yeah, I'll come in and eat in a minute.
Yeah. Hey, let's do a podcast.
Yeah.
Food.
Yeah.
Bye.